While the new variant Omicron has been rapidly spreading globally, airports have stepped up vigil for foreign travelers. RT-PCR tests, waiver forms and long wait for test reports is the new normal now at the airports for international passengers. Mirror Now's Aarti Subramaniam travels from Heathrow Airport in London to Mumbai and shows us what exactly are the airports doing to ensure that the new variant is kept in check.
With the rising number of Omicron cases, the Indian government has put in special measures for passengers who are returning from the United Kingdom. I'm at London's Heathrow Airport and I'm about to board a flight to Mumbai and get a sense of how those measures are being implemented on the ground.
Upon landing in Mumbai, what followed was long but fast-moving queues, a 20-minute procedure to sign waiver forms and RT-PCR tests for returnees. While the queues moved fast, there were certain loopholes in the process, like no quarantine after the RT-PCR test while one waits for the report. Here's Aarti Subramaniam with the first-hand experience of what the procedure at the Mumbai International Airport looks like.
So it's about 1 a.m. I've just landed a short while ago at the Mumbai International Airport. And I'm going to show you some of the queues that have been assembled now for getting the PCR test done, the RT-PCR test done. I'm at Mumbai's International Airport and I landed here at about 1 a.m. And let me tell you what I've experienced since I've landed. We deboarded the flight and we were taken into a small holding area where we were given a form to fill our recent travel history. After that, we were taken to a certain area where RT-PCR tests are done. Now, the queues were very long, but they were moving very quickly. Now, the concept of social distancing, of course, in queues like this is almost impossible. The entire process, though, from the time I actually stood in the queue to the time I finished my entire RT-PCR process and take the test itself was about 20 minutes. If you pay 3,900 rupees, you can get the test in an hour and a half, and I'm waiting for the result of that. If you pay 500 or 800 rupees, then you have to wait for a longer time, about 7 or 8 hours for that. Now, the problem is once you finish the test, you're not kept in any sort of quarantined area. You're allowed to go for immigration, you're allowed to go for baggage claim. So that's a big loophole in the system because essentially countries, people who are coming from certain at-risk countries have to go home and quarantine, but they're pretty much interacting with passengers coming from every other country, be it in duty-free, at immigration or at baggage claim. So that is one loophole that exists in the system. Otherwise, the process is completely smooth. Immigration, 20 minutes, baggage, another 5-10 minutes. Of course, Mumbai Airport is very well managed also, but the process of these new checks and balances because of the Omicron variant have been smooth. Yes, there are certain problems in implementation. There is a bit of chaos, but the entire process is not very long. At least the entire process of getting yourself tested, filling up the forms does not last longer, at least in my experience of about 20 minutes. So it's 3 a.m. now. I landed at 1 o'clock and I'm exiting the airport 2 hours after I've landed. This includes the time for doing the test, standing in the queue for the test, getting my report, immigration, baggage, everything. It's taken an entirety of 2 hours. The process by and large has been smooth. There was, as I was saying on before, where even if waiting for your RT-PCR test from a high-risk country, you will still have to go through immigration, you get your baggage, you interact with every other passenger, but then you are kept in holding separately just before exiting the airport, where you have to actually wait for your report, either for it to show up on email, or you have to go stand in a few queues to get your report directly printed out from the lab. Now, that is the one area which, of course, can be improved because there is no signage, there is no clarity on which queue you have to stand in, what the process is per se over there. But once you get a report on hand, once you get that negative report on hand, again, it's a breeze and you can exit the airport quite easily. So 2 hours all in all. London to Mumbai is, of course, a 9-hour flight, and it's taken 2 hours from the time of landing to exit the airport.